Okay, today I want to start a conversation about the trigrams, the 8 trigrams. 4 of them in particular, ward off, roll back, press, and push, which are the 4 that we use in the pushing hands exercise. Before we can talk about the trigrams, we have to talk about the construction of the trigrams. And to do that, we can go back to Professor Chen-Man Cheng's entrance into the classic called The Song of Form and Function. And one line of that says, the primordial power, the 2 primordial powers and the 4 manifestations are chaos and boundless. Those are kind of not so easy, not so apparently evident what they mean. The glossary, where there's an attempt to describe what these terms mean, has the 4 manifestations. The 2 primordial powers are yin and yang. The 4 manifestations are the 4 different combinations of yin and yang, represented by lines. A yang line is solid, a yin line is broken in the middle. There are 2 spots. One is heaven, that's the top one. The other is earth, that's the bottom one. And there can be 4 different configurations. There can be a solid line on top of a solid line. There can be a solid line on top of a broken line. There can be a broken line on top of a solid line, and there can be 2 broken lines. And that's the 4 manifestations, the 2 primordial powers, the power of yin and yang, and the 4 manifestations are the different configurations of those in the 2 possibilities of heaven and earth. But there's a third, they're trigrams, because the one that stands to connect the power of heaven to earth is represented by a 3rd line. So the 3 agencies of heaven, earth, and humanity standing in between are represented in their 3 possibilities of arrangement, and that will come out to 8 different trigrams, all the various arrangements of places of broken and solid lines. So if we return to the image of the Abhagwa, which we'll do in a minute, it'll take a second to find it. But the 4 postures, so there you see at the very top is 3 straight lines, that's yang. At the very bottom is 3 broken lines, that's yin. On either the right or the left, I don't know which it is. On one side, there's a yang line on the top and the bottom, and a yin line in the middle. And on the other one, there's a yin line on the top and the bottom, and a yang line on the middle. Those 4 represent the 4 cardinal directions and the 4 postures of ward off, roll back, press, and push. Those are pictograms which describe the energy of those 2 primordial powers, heaven and earth, in the 3 places. So for example, the top one is ward off energy, which is yang, 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 expansive, 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 completely expansive. On the bottom is 3 lines of yin, contracting, contracting, contracting. On one side, there's a yang line on top and a yang line on the bottom, and the yin line in the between is the posture push. And the broken line on top and broken line on bottom with a solid line in the middle is the posture called press. Now, in different writing in the classics, it says, be conscientious of ward off, roll back, press, and push. So to have an understanding of those 4 postures is the beginning of understanding a bigger picture of Tai Chi. And I want to describe, probably in a different video, how those 4 ward off, roll back, press, and push are represented by those 4 trigrams. So on the next discussion, I'll discuss that connection.